All right, so I got a lot of slides, so I'm just gonna fly through this. Life Happens by Chris Hollers. I decided to use a quote by Amy Winehouse. Life happens. There's no point in being upset or down about things we can't control or change. I thought that just fit well with the theme. My family profile is family group two adult females, two children living in a large metropolitan area. The 18-year-old child is still under coverage from his mother, and the other adult has recently lost her job. I found a three-bedroom apartment on Zillow in Philadelphia. That's the city I chose, and so I just figured that it kind of works out $1,700 a month. A financial profile, just over $39,000 a year after tax, just over 27,000, with a monthly income of $2,307.29 with $0 in assets. Their budget is pretty tight. I put the monthly housing cost at about 1850. The extra 150 covers amenities such as gas and electric. I found a car for them with a car payment of $224. I found that from checking out Carvana, Cars.com, and Picali Blue Book. And also their insurance is about $1,475 annual. That's just the Pennsylvania average I took from the Zebra. They use Snap to cover the cost of groceries for a four-person household. That's about $782, and I got that from the Department of Human Services. I decided to give the 18-year-old teenager James a part-time job working pizza delivery. It's something I did when I was that age. So 25-hour work week, 3 days a week during the school week, and then both days on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Uh, Pennsylvania minimum wage is only $7.25 plus tips. 5-hour shifts. So he earns about $523.42 by the end of the month. And I got the taxable amount from the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue. So family members, two adult females are in a relationship but not married. Victoria, the preschool teacher, age 41. She has one child named James, the 18-year-old. She teaches preschool during the school year, and I decided to give her some tutoring during the summer to make a little extra money. She has 8 students that she tutors, $45 an hour. Sessions range 1 to 2 hours per student per week, so she earns anywhere between $360 to $720 a week. Ashley is recently unemployed, age 34, and she has one child named Janine. Um, like I said, Janine is Ashley's daughter. James is Victoria's son. The younger, I just decided to put this in there for a little personality, just to kind of give it something. The younger sibling, Janine, plays soccer, practice twice a week, games once a week. I've looked online, and the average cost of soccer was $75 for registration, and the uniform is about $50 on average that I saw. So $125 total for a one-time fee. Meals is divided between Ashley, Victoria, and James. Ashley is the better cook, so she cooks 3 days a week. Victoria cooks 2 days a week, and James cooks the other two. I had to do dishes when I was younger, so I say the kids have to do dishes too. 4 to 5 days a week, the meals are made from scratch from what they get from the grocery store. And then 2 to 3 days a week, there's leftovers, or what my family calls refrigerator surprise. Making tacos from leftover meats and veggies. Putting some sauce with some leftover pasta, or putting some sauce and cheese on some bread and making a makeshift pizza. School and work schedule. I found a apartment in Philadelphia, and I had to look up the nearby schools to kind of give it a little more realistic. Both kids go to school in the same district. It's about 15 to 25 minutes walking distance between schools. It's a 25-minute walk from home to elementary school. Um, Elementary school starts at 9 a.m. The high school starts at 7:40. There is no public school transportation. They get no busing in the area, so that's kind of a big bummer. The high school student James is driven to school by Victoria and then is dropped off by 7:30, just before the 7:40 start. Victoria then drives to her work at the preschool for the 8 a.m. start. The younger child, Janine, she's part of a carpool with her two friends from soccer, and she's picked up 8:30 a.m. and arrives to school around 8:50 for the 9 a.m. start. High school ends at 2:40, and James, if he's not unable to be taken home by a friend, he walks to Victoria's work, and then is taken home by her in the car. Um, Preschool day ends at 2 o'clock. Victoria stays for about an hour afterwards to to clean up, talk to parents, that whole spiel. Elementary school for Janine ends at 3:30. She's either picked up by Victoria and James, she's carpooled home on soccer days, or Ashley's her mother is able to pick her up and walk her home. She's only able to do this since she lost her job. First life card. There's the dental trip that cost $350. This was outside of our budget, and so I had to brainstorm a few options. Uh, Best thing that I saw, the only two options would be to either borrow money or to put the expense on a credit card. I figured credit and going into debt was more likely rather than borrowing $350, and it'd be also better to take care of it right then rather than waiting for it to get worse and possibly causing infection. She has Ashley, the mother, has a one credit card with a $5,000 limit, and she's currently behind payments, so the debt keeps kind of adding up. Teenager's son gets his girlfriend pregnant. Idiot. The teenage son, who his girlfriend is still covered by her parents' insurance. Prenatal care for pregnancy is about $2,000 according to the Kaiser Family Foundation. It's about 12 doctor visits to end $100 to $200 each. And let's see, the monthly cost is divided between Victoria and James. So it's like, hey, if you get a girl pregnant, you're gonna have to pay your dues. So they split the monthly cost out of about $166.67 to about $83.34 per person. This limits their budget to just over $50 left over for kind of just random expenses. James is then responsible for paying for additional expenses such as clothes and food for the baby. $450 for a stroller or crib. $50 a month for food after the baby is born. $50 a month for diapers, and every kid needs a teddy bear. The lack of employment for Ashley is probably the biggest hurdle, and she's just because Ashley was working in maintenance, and she's found that a lot of employers unfairly hire more men for the field she was in, and this also just kind of makes it increasingly harder for her to find a job that fits her field and her desired pay, and this is kind of making it so she's having to look towards just getting a job at a grocery store or some other part-time or much lower income than what she is used to. And not only that, it's just the more she kind of she waits to be able to pay off her debt, she's also liable to having her wages garnished and taken by the government in order to substantiate that debt. And so it just kind of makes it increasingly hard. Adjusted budget altogether, the annual income, monthly income, car payment, insurance, the pregnancy cost, the soccer fee, the dentist fee, we're looking at they're about $450.60 in debt, which is going to make things just increasingly difficult. Second life card, elderly mother has fallen and goes into the hospital for a hip replacement. She asked her family member, lives about an hour away. I made it so that this is Ashley's mother who is the one that has fallen. It did kind of make it slightly easier since that meant Victoria wouldn't have to take time off of work. So the family's in debt, and Ashley's mother used to work hotel management, and so she's well off. She lives by herself, and so she doesn't really need as much financial help as just someone to help take care of her for the day to day. Ashley takes the public bus over to her mom's home in order to make that money. James is aware of the situation. He's like, hey, I'll cover the bus trip, and here's $50 to kind of help out. Uh, because of all this, over the month, she puts about $300 on credit to cover, bandages, ice packs, and all having to be delivered because she doesn't have the transportation to be able to get everywhere while taking care of her mother would just take up too much time. So that just kind of causes some extra pain. Part two of the second life card, pipe bursts and they need a plumber, and the what I looked up online showed that the average cost of fixing a pipe that bursts is about $500. Victoria is able to put this on credit, and she's had good credit from over the years. But they're they're just adding to the increasing debt they have. And the only thing she has to kind of subsidize this is using the funds that she makes from tutoring to be able to slowly pay off a lot of these charges. So I'll just kind of leave that there for a second because it would take far too long to read through. But bottom line, a family emergency kind of it 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 puts a damper on all the plans that people make to try to get themselves over the hump back into the workforce, and really to be able to contribute to the household. And this is something that I thought was interesting. People are expected to operate individually but towards the same goals. Everyone competes against each other but for the same things. She's unable to find a job in order to do the same thing that everybody else needs to do, take care of their family. And so that just kind of really spoke to it. Another thing is that I thought was just really depressing about all this. You know, as a preschool teacher, as a school teacher in general, Victoria should be given higher wages, especially in order to just survive. $27,000 a year is not substantial enough to be able to raise a family, take care of everything without going into debt. And that's kind of really the biggest hurdle about all this, is that their only option is to go into debt to be able to take care of all this. And the quote that I use, middle and lower income earners, what many other parts of the world refer to as working class, share a minuscule part of the nation's wealth. And that just kind of it like I said, it just puts it all into perspective. People that own these large corporations and everything, they do is own things, and that's how they're able to make, in order to make even more money. But the people that are actually doing the hard work don't get paid their fair share. And that's, as we've learned through the semester, that's one of the biggest reasons why there's such a huge discrepancy between how much the top 1%ers earn and how much everybody else makes. So it's just really, it's a negative prospect when you really think about it. Adjusted budget again. So they're already $450 in debt, $300 additionally for caring for Ashley's mother, $500 plumber cost. So they're altogether $1,260 in debt. And by comparison, this really isn't as bad as I'm making it out to be. A lot of people are far more than simply $1,200 in debt. And I think the two biggest issues that I've seen from this is, one, Ashley's unable to find a job in her field, which she needs to be able to pay off a lot of this debt, and that the wages gained by a school teacher just aren't enough. And the only way she's able to kind of match this is by tutoring during the summer to be able to just to get by. So some important things to note was this. I didn't include any savings over the years. Tutoring income was not accounted in the budget. Victoria is the primary money maker in the family. James is having to be responsible for tuition costs, and that just and that just means that he has to use his already lowering funds from having getting his girlfriend pregnant, and he's having to pay for that and the average cost of tuition in community college in Pennsylvania. Uh, just over $6,000 in tuition and books and supplies, all on part-time pizza delivery. Like I said, Ashley's lack of employment causes a lot of the strain. If she was able to find a job in her preferred field, this would be a substantial amount of breathing room. SNAP assistance is the lifesaver in this. I don't think I would have been able to find room in the budget if it wasn't for SNAP. And the only reason that this family was able to afford the life card expenses was because of credit cards and essentially getting into debt. So everyday life essentially put them into debt. It's just it's an upsetting reality, and this is just really put into perspective. We're excited. Um, you know, thank you for watching this 16-minute video. I'm also going to post the entire PowerPoint on its own, so there's a little bit of, so if people need to actually take the time to look through these for the peer review, that'll be a little bit easier. All right, thank you once again. My name is Chris Hollers. Thanks for watching.